stone fists, you can have a neurodivergent person and disabled characters in your mediums. Oh, it's pretty! It is so pretty! I love it! Yay!
My name is Bloodthreadshears. I am also known in the dance world as Oriana Amaz.
Oh, what am I doing? Oh, what am I doing? Hello everyone, Merry Time Zone, and welcome to my stream. I'm Bloodthreadshears, Shears for short, and today we're going back to Thirst Town with When the Night Comes. And I am happy to say, Happy Pride! I didn't get a chance to do that yesterday, considering I was so tired from workshop, and then just no spoons whatsoever. And earlier this morning, I did a little late night stream because couldn't sleep. So, hence the glove. But yeah, I am happy to get back into the game, especially after like taking a mental health day last Wednesday. But yeah, happy Pride everyone, and always remember, if you don't include disabled folks into your Pride, is it really inclusive? So yeah, I still stand by that. Make Pride accessible for both physically, mentally, and invisible disabilities. I see what you're doing, and a lot of you don't make it accessible. So yeah, that's my hill that I will die on. But anyways, before we get started, I have the standard announcements to get through. First and foremost, scheduling will go back to normal tomorrow. I am no longer doing pet sitting for the moment, so I will be back in my regular Monday morning tea and being able to do all the wonderful stuff. And I may play video games, I may just do a little bit more chill sewing because I got a lot done last night, but I still have a long way to go. I will work on scheduling probably later if I have the energy. So be on the lookout for that. I'll post it up on my Twitter. Next up is I'm going to be plugging my Kofi all throughout Pride Month because this poor queer needs a new needs a new computer. Did it work? Oh, there we go. If you want to help support, whether it be a one-time donation or monthly support, you can go to my Ko-Fi and help me fulfill a fundraising goal of $2,500 for a dedicated gaming desktop. I'm aiming for a HP Omen with 32 gigs of memory and a 2-monitor setup. That way I don't ever have to worry about constantly panicking over stream, over photo editing, over all these wonderful things. So yeah. And also, if you want to support and send me stuff, there's actually a way to do it now. If I can actually get into my chat. I have a wish list now. I have it through Throne, where you can send somebody your favorite creatives gifts or items that they put on their wish list. I am prioritizing practical things that I would need for stream, and a couple of, okay, this would be nice to have because I think it would be pretty. I like the practical stuff is like electronics, maybe a new mug, specifically for streaming. And the nice to have are a chatelaine, which I'll go into tomorrow morning, and a wax seal set, purely just for creative stuff, and I think it would be fun to have. So the best part about it is your address and my address stay perfectly anonymous. So if you do want to send me stuff, you can, and I will happily open it on stream. I'm very excited to see what happens, and I try to keep everything affordable. I know not everybody can afford to like send stuff, and that's okay. I also have the free actions of the day. You can do that by hosting the stream and retweeting the go live. For hosting, I have a little PSA that I'll show on the break that shows newcomers how to host the stream. And if you're on mobile, you tap your screen like that. You're going to see the share icon. You're going to hit that, and then it'll see on the bottom host stream, and boom, you're hosting the stream for mobile. Now, if only Twitch made that a lot more louder for folks so we can actually help support our favorite streamers. Both are a free action, and it brings more people to the comfy couch that is my stream. And as you can see, this is my next announcement. The mock-up is practically done. And what I mean by that is I'm in test drive mode where I'm seeing what works, what doesn't, what needs further alterations, such as gussets for right around here. And maybe a longer skirt. And for Mockup 2.0, I will be experimenting with a T-length skirt with a ruffle on it. So there's going to be a lot of math to deal with that. And if you're interested in finding out more about that, Ko-Fi link is in there, and you can also check out all of the standard commands right here. And which brings me to my next announcement. Coming up on this Tuesday, I'll be joining the wonderful players known as Lonzo Gonzo, Happy Capster, That Nerd Tori, in a game led by the Great Rafiki over on Greater Restoration's channel. We're going to be doing a Masks a New Generation one-shot on Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I have my character ready. I've worked with Lonzo to develop our characters, and I'm designing the costume. I have yet to send the image to Lonzo. I cannot wait. Like, all I can say is, like I said yesterday, roar! Roar! So that'll be very fun. Those are all the announcements. So going on next is the community board. First and foremost, I actually want to give a shout out to Cypher of Tyr. She's actually doing a pretty cool event called D&D in a Castle. And let me put the get the link to the tweet. There we go. That's the link to the tweet. If you're ever interested in playing at a table with Cypher of Tyr, here's your chance. If you're able to go to England and stay for a retreat specifically for Dungeons and Dragons. This is your chance. Reserve your spot. Cypher is an amazing person. I highly respect her, and I respect her work. And that's why I'm making noise right now. So if you have, as always, if you are interested in doing this or you're attending this, know that she's got spots at her table and they will fill up quickly. The next bit on the docket of the community board is the itch.io bundle to benefit grassroots organizations up in Buffalo, New York, to help support and aid those who were affected by the domestic terrorist attack on a Black community. And if you are interested, many of the folks within the communities that I run in are creators, and there's an amazing plethora of games, whether it be tabletop, video games, all this wonderful stuff. The bundle is live, and the link will be is directly in the tweet that I have posted in the chat. Last but not least, I've talked about Chaos Fae for quite some time, and I'm going to continue to do so because I'm happy to say that she is more than 59% towards her goal of being able to afford a new place. Chaos Fae is a 4th generation quilter, disabled creative, and my friend. And I'm giving her a shout out because of the fact that she does amazing work. And as of last month, her landlord decided to terminate her and her husband's lease with no notice, and they're trying to find a place to live and save up for affordable housing. If you have the funds, she's open for commissions for quilting. And let me give you an example. I've showed this before. And in the spirit of pride, because gay, this is a beautiful coaster. I have a mug rug with all my drinks on it. I have beautiful quilted magnets that I've used. I cannot recommend her enough. She does amazing work, and she deserves every dollar that people give her. So if you're interested in commissioning her Ko-Fi and shop, her shop and her Ko-Fi is in the link, and also be sure to follow her. Her Creations by Chaos Fae is in the chat right now. And that is basically it for the community board. I hope everyone's been having a lovely weekend, and it has been nice and temperate. I mentioned last night that it was fairly chilly, and it's like in the 70s, like that little Goldilocks zone, as Mermaid Jeans put it, that folks have really enjoyed. Oh yeah, and one last thing. I have a YouTube channel now. I am putting all my VODs there, and maybe some pre-recorded stuff in regards to the Sophie dress. Maybe a vlog or two, I'm not sure. But once I have stuff situated for that, I will let everyone know. And if you miss a stream, that's where they'll be. Link is in chat. So yeah, I think that's everything. And let me just get rid of notifications on my phone because it seems to be going someplace. Alright, so okay. It is now time to turn off the music and close out my tabs. and let's get the game going. I didn't want to spend too much time on announcements because I want to be able to continue to play, and I'm going to be doing a lot of narration, so I have cold drink, and water. No hot drinks today because I ran out of honey and I need to go buy more. All right. So we are into When the Night Comes. If you're new here, please be advised that there are content warnings. All of them are down below in the standard commands list. And occasionally I will put up the content warnings into chat, like this. And if this is not your jam, if you feel uncomfortable with any of the subject matter that is presented here, please take care of yourself, tab out if you need to. I will see you tomorrow morning. It is okay to head out if you need to take care of your mental health. As I like to say, you take care of you. So I'm gonna just do the drink shuffle. And if anyone has any questions or anything, please let me know. I'm keeping an eye on my phone. Oh. So let's do that and that. Okay. Time for romance. Alright, so quick recap. We got some leads on a former hunter that got arrested and thrown into dungeons for something that went horribly, horribly wrong, but we don't know because everybody's been keeping secrets from us. We tried to go find out, and our boss kind of caught us in their office. We talked to them, realized a few things, and then we went to talk and create a plan to break into the dungeons. During that time, we flirted with Finn and Ezra, who are the ones I'm actually going to romance because there are two options for polyamorous romance in this game. And then we talked to Alcar, a half werewolf or half lichen, and as we were leaving the forest, a really nasty creature caught up to us and was about to kill us, but instead a voice in our head, which is apparently the voice of the husband of our boss's boss, decided to say, nope, we're not doing that today, run. So we're gonna go and romance. So this is where we caught up to. And like I said, VODs are in the YouTube channel, so we're gonna go to Finn. Okay. As though my body already knows where I need to go, where I want to go, my feet carry me towards the catacombs. And I really should find my fidget toy. I don't look back, but I do hear the rustle of trees and the creature's crazed aura fading. Also, ableist language in this. If you hear me slip up, I'm only human. It's heading back into the woods. The town is safe. For now. Though I'm sure he's aware it's me, he still seems surprised when he opens the door and finds me in the dull light of the corridor. Hey, are you okay? His wide-eyed gaze brushes over me, and I can see him registering that something isn't right. He gently curls his fingers around my wrist to urge me inside when I don't respond, the door closing with a loud thud behind me. Strangely, I'm shaking, and I can't place why.
What is it? Who hurt you?
I'm rarely fearful of creatures, but this shook me to my core. Something was off, too familiar. I saw it. Golden eyes meet mine, and the warmth they exude calms me in an instant.
Breathe. I've got you. Now, tell me. What did you see?
I shiver as my adrenaline fades, and in the absent-minded gesture, he rubs his hands over my arms to try to warm me. The creature, I think I saw it. I couldn't move. It was like it paralyzed me. There was something that didn't feel right, like I knew it. Like we were connected. His brows furrow, and he takes a careful step closer as I reach for his arms. I hold on to him as if he might anchor me and make all of this feel real. I was drawn here. Something magnetic pulling me towards him in a time of confusion. I've barely known him a week, but there's something about Finn that makes me feel safe and strong and wanted. We should go out there and see if we can find it. I can practically see the cogs turning in his mind. As he moves to leave, I tighten my grip. I need him to stay. I want him to stay. I want him. Finn. In the warm light of his room, Finn's face has taken on an otherworldly quality. The way the golden shadows dance across his sharpened features make me wonder how many people he's lured to their end. I wouldn't blame them. Even I'm drawn to him like a moth to a bright, bright flame, and there's truly no mistaking that he's not human. Deadly. And yet, another step closer, my heart a hammer in my chest, and we're so close I can feel his cool breath against my overheated skin. The unsaid longing, the desire that I feel when I'm near him. Something I've tried to quietly snuff out, using the formalities of my position as an excuse. Creature, something I'm supposed to hunt, but he's the one whose presence has made me feel like I truly belong here. A comfort in all of this darkness and uncertainty. I'd mark myself a fool if I ignored such feelings. Everything could end tomorrow and I'd never know. I tilt my chin in invitation, my chest heaving, and surely my grip would be bruising if he were human. He curls a cold fingertip at my cheek, and I know he's not reading my mind, but his next words are everything I long to hear.
Can I kiss you?
Okay. Alright, this is a trope I like. This is a trope I genuinely like. Like, asking permission, consent. Yes. So, oh boy, I need a drink. Oh boy. Oh, and for full disclosure, I did go down this route off stream to make sure that I knew what I was getting into for content warnings, and I will be doing that for every single route. Because again, safety of my community takes precedence. I don't like surprises when it comes to that. Okay. All right, let's do this. Smoochie time. Yes. Yes. That's all it takes for Finn to press his cool lips against my willing mouth. He places a hand on my hip and draws me close. The first kiss is quick, but it still lingers when he pulls away, eyes desperately searching my face. I exhale sharply, a beat passing between us, then I kiss him with fervor, my tongue finding his between his carefully parted teeth. My God, I am in so much trouble. Oh God, okay. Okay. I am okay. I am an adult. I will flail. Nope. Eventually, I need to pull away to catch my breath, and I'm overwhelmed about how right this feels. He smiles when he realizes I need to breathe, giving me a moment and placing a kiss against my jaw and trailing it back towards my mouth. I hold him close, pushing my hand over his spine, raking my nails along the dark fabric. I can feel his muscles shift and relax beneath my touch. Then, a shared smile, and Finn kisses me. Oh God, okay. We're starting very strong right now. Sexy. Lie down, Mama. Okay. I can. Oh God. Okay. All right. Rereading this because I need a drink. Okay. I'm calm. I am calm. Acting. Then a shared smile, and Finn kisses me hard, fueling the urgency that thrums between us, kickstarting something within me that makes my breath hitch. I hear a low growl, a rumble in his chest. It's a revealing noise, the kind that seems alarming at first but gives way to an approving, throaty groan. He carefully walks me backward until I hit the door. And with unexpected complacency, I find myself following his lead and sinking back against the wood. You have a thing with walls and doors, don't you? He makes a quiet noise. Why did I choose to wear headphones on this scene? Okay. Decisions were made, and I'm actually going to put the content warning back in, because while there's nothing explicit, it's suggested. So, again, use your own discretion. Okay, it sounds a little like a purr. I cannot resist reaching out to drag a hand down the pale plane of his exposed chest, and Finn is clearly drinking in the way my fingers feel upon his skin. He's reveling in the attention. We pause, forehead pressed to forehead, and the fathomless gold eyes burn into my own. My breathing is ragged, clawing free from the embers of my chest, and I smile. He sucks in a sharp breath, smiling and looking at me like I hung the moon. The words that roll off his lips are raw and honest, laid bare before me and washing away whatever hesitation I may have felt before this moment. I'm gonna grab my fan, because I'm a disaster, okay?
You are like a madness. One I'd happily succumb to.
I'm not blushing. I'm not blushing. Okay. God damn it. Okay. This mission has been nothing but one mystery after another. But this he reveals so gently and passionately. We reluctantly part and Finn steps back, putting some distance between us. Though our fingers are still lazily entwined, the feel of him cooling my overheated skin. I need a drink. Okay. I am so screwed. All right. Okay. God damn it, Kamsi, where the hell are you when I need you? I need my fellow thirst companion. Oh god, okay. He smiles, turning and breaking our contact as he takes a seat upon his bed.
So, this changes things between us, I suppose.
You think? I clear my throat, unable to wipe the smile off my face. His kiss lingers. You could say that. He looks up at me, and I find myself caught by how beautiful he is. Tell me everything will be okay. He feigns contemplation, his gaze flickering to the side, then back to my face.
It will. You're smart and you're strong, and I consider myself lucky to be able to help you. Lucky to know you.
There's so much uncertainty, but of him, I'm beyond certain. Grounded and stronger. And you know me. And you know me you do. And know me you do. He laughs, biting his bottom lip. His support makes me feel unstoppable, as does everyone else's. No longer am I alone in this. I have a family. Everything's going to be okay. Strangely, I wake with a smile on my face. Despite meeting the thing that's been wreaking havoc on this town, excuse me, and despite the fact that it's rendered me useless, I'm happy. It feels wrong, but I can't ignore the way my chest aches when I think of Finn. When I think about kissing him. I laugh to myself. I feel so much lighter somehow. Though, I can't shake the feeling of that thing staring me down and sizing me up. I think of all the creatures I've encountered in my time as a hunter, and I almost feel like there's something I'm missing. Is it a hybrid? A new species? We were always taught that it's unrealistic to believe that we've discovered every kind of creature that roams the earth. The realms that separate us from them can tear. Every day, new horrors are brought upon us. But every single one of my instincts is screaming and telling me that this is different. That it's not going to be simple. With great effort, I drag myself from the relative comfort of my bed and stare out over a surprisingly sunny Lunaris. I take my seat at my desk and decide to take a moment to observe the stolen notes that Ezra has kindly handed over. I scan them, and it's jarring seeing a truly talented witch being so completely and utterly perplexed. I can practically feel his frustration rolling off the page. Live fire consumed everything, and muscles damaged beyond restoration. Magical fire? Can't reconstruct. Anise and skeletal flower. Doesn't work. Perhaps a memory spell to recall the events of the death? A runestone should suffice. No good. It's as if the body doesn't remember the soul's essence at all. A creature that feeds on a life source? Perform ritual on crescent moon. Scrying's a far shot, but at this point, I've exhausted my options with the corpse. She deserves a burial by now. Use an extract from flowers and a spell to ascertain she was well terrified before her death, but nothing more. Can't even tell if it's death by burning or other injuries. Then finally, the page is torn where spreads so hard with his quill. I'm stumped. The complete lack of an intact body would have certainly made his job hard. But a witch of Ezra's skill can cast many spells to determine the cause of death. All he encountered was a failed spell after failed spell. I set them aside. I have no time to delve any deeper. Now it's time to write my report for last night. This should be interesting. I check the conveniently placed clock outside of August's office door and take a deep breath. As I raise to my fist to knock, I hear a crash. I forgo knocking, pushing the door open to rush inside and check that everything is okay. I scan the room, seeing no August, but then I see a pair of feet sticking from behind the desk, and then hear a string of muttered curses in a language I don't recognize. August? They pop up. Their hair is a mess, and they have dark, dark bags under their eyes. God, this is me in my college days. Cheers. Is it 9 already? I nod, clocking that their clothes are wrinkled, which is odd. Very odd. Wait, did you sleep here? They let out a quick, sharp burst of laughter that seemed suspiciously nervous.
Did I fall asleep in my office? Don't be preposterous.
Hi, Rafiki! Enjoy your lurk. And also, this is good. Rafiki's gonna be DMing the masked one shot. Hang on. I do a thing. So yeah, just to remind folks, the Great Rafiki is going to be DMing a one shot using Masks of New Generation, which will have Lonzo Gonzo, That Nerd Tori, Happy Capster, and myself over on Greater Restoration's channel this Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna be superheroes, and I've shown Rafiki my costume design, or at least the early stage one. So it's gonna be fun. I already sent all my character info to Rafiki, so we're gonna be it's gonna be chaos. It's gonna be so much fun. So I'm sure it will be fun and silly. I'm looking forward to it. And it's gonna be a lot of fun playing in a system that I've never played in, so be on the lookout for that. I will be making a shit ton of noise. So I'm actually gonna back that up. And so yeah, okay. So they let out a quick sharp burst of laughter, the ba-ba-ba.
Did I fall asleep in my office? Don't be preposterous.
That's the look and sound of a person who's pulled an all-nighter with nothing but Red Bull, Monster, and a prayer. And I feel very called out on that. I stare them down, unconvinced. August. They cover their mouth with their hand, coughing quietly.
Yep. Yes, I did.
I had a lot on my mind. I nod in understanding, itching to tell them about my encounter, but almost not wanting to burden them with yet another thing. There was a little incident last night in the woods. An incident, you say? Come, sit. I take a deep breath and follow them to their desk. I believe I encountered the creature. Creature, as in the creature? Yes. Their pale skin gets lighter somehow, and they take a deep, shuddering breath.
Are you okay? And how are you okay, if so? Some of our best hunters have perished by its hand.
Well, about that. I settle into the comfortable chair opposite of them. My mind is reeling as I think about how the hell I'm going to explain all this. Okay, firstly, don't think I'm weird, okay? Oh, okay. They don't seem convinced, but I continue regardless. James has been communicating with me somehow. It's like I can hear him, feel him, and he's right beside me. Their expression remains neutral, that perfectly arched brow raised high. I assume that their silence means that they wish for me to continue. It's happened a few times, the most recent being last night. I'm pretty sure he's the reason I'm sitting here right now. He snapped me out of whatever thrall the thing had me under. They process what I've just said with an unreadable expression, and I wait with bated breath, unable to get a read on their aura. Are they going to laugh in my face? Tell me I've lost it? I see. Well, I'm glad he decided to help you. To think what might have become of you had he not. I'd rather not imagine. I pause, my mouth agape. I'm perplexed. Not even a flinch? You seem rather calm. I expected. They raise their hand.
A lot of things that happen in our world are out of the ordinary, and we can't possibly explain every unusual occurrence. Ghosts are certainly not the strangest thing we deal with. There have been many recorded cases of people claiming they've been contacted by the dead.
If Hunter Lane has somehow managed to communicate with you, then so be it. We can question it and attempt to understand it if you wish, but I consider the statement. Deciding yet another thing to add to the list would be a hindrance to us all. That won't be necessary. You felt fine during all of this. Nothing ails you when you experience this connection. I grimace, and August notices.
You do well to tell me, Hunter.
I've been getting headaches. Pretty intense ones. There's a lingering ache in my temple almost constantly, and it flares up whenever he's near. They press their finger to their lips, looking at me thoughtfully. Then they rise from their chair, walking to stand over me, wiggling their fingers in my direction. May I? Go ahead. If you don't mind. I'd nod, trusting them to do what they have to do. Just close your eyes. It won't hurt. I oblige, and I feel a distinct crackle in the air. The smell of ozone thick in my nostrils. The hairs on the back of my neck and arms stand, and I dare a peek at my enforcer. Their eyes are closed too, their hands hovering carefully above my head and glowing a vibrant aquamarine. Closed. With a quiet grumble, I heed their instruction. A moment later, I hear them huff. You're fine. No damage detected. I open my eyes, watching them sit back against the desk. Thank you, August. I should imagine it's rather unnerving to have that happen, though. I do hope he's at least polite. Oh, well, minus the headaches. He's not too bad. He was a fine hunter and a valued friend to many, including myself. He's missed terribly. Even more of a reason for us to bring this thing to the ground. I silently ponder the implications if the enforcers are involved in this. I think what it would do to Harry if the very agency he runs ended up being responsible for his husband's death. A loud knock interrupts my train of thought, and August throws me a look. They seem uncharacteristically nervous. I tilt my head in question. It's time I made amends. Come in. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. Grab your popcorn. We're doing it! The atmosphere immediately grows tense, both of them making a point to look at me and not each other. Have I been tricked into mediating? Yep. Apparently, that is exactly what this is.
I hear you have something to say to me.
I let out a breath, and I didn't realize I was holding. Thanking the stars that Piper is choosing to break the ice somewhat civilly. August clears their throat, rubbing their forefinger and thumb together. Seeing them unnerved is alarming.
Yes, well, I wanted to apologize, formally.
And for the first time.
Yes, Piper, for the first time. If I could go back and change how I reacted, I would do it in a heartbeat. You didn't deserve any of this. And I'm sorry.
She looks angry, but also a little defeated. I imagine this isn't easy for her. Wouldn't be for me if I were in her shoes.
You really hurt me, August. It will take time for us to get back to where we were.
But she has told me that you really do wish to make amends, and that you're on our side in all of this, so I accept your apology.
Take however long that you need. Whatever I can do to make it easier, I shall. To prove to you that I mean it.
Piper quirks a single brow, a smile creeping onto her lips. Well, I am
not arm wrestling you ever again. I'd rather you drove a dagger through my heart, frankly.
That's a bit drastic. Anyway, shall we discuss this plan of yours, Hunter? The plan. General, you and Ezra will see to the wards while Piper and I will meet Finn in the catacombs. He'll escort us to the hidden entrance to the dungeons and be our lookout. And I think we're actually well past the hour mark, so I'm actually going to take a quick break. So Around here, I strongly encourage folks to take care of themselves however they see fit. Whether it is to get up, walk around, stretch, have some water, some food, your medication. Please remember to take your meds if you have not done so already. Giving your furry, scaly, or feathered friends some scritches and love, however you see fit. Be sure to take care of yourselves, and I will be right back. Hello everyone, welcome back. Alright, so... Alright, OBS, what are you doing? Okay, cool. So getting back into this, I hope everyone's having a fun time. I'm glad we got like the romancy stuff out of the way. I would not have been able to survive. Alright, so there, Piper and I will enter and gather as much intel as we can, for as long as you're able to stave off the protections. We'll then leave via the exit in the forest, where we'll meet Finn again, making a hasty escape before anyone catches wind. In theory. Yes, in theory. August purses their lips, taking in the provided information. I see. And you're satisfied with this? That it's achievable without any of us getting caught? Piper and I share a glance, and she nods. I am, yes. Regardless, I think it's necessary. We cannot proceed with our investigation without seeing what they're keeping down there. Or what they're not keeping down there. This could change the whole investigation, August. Very well. I trust you. Both of you. I guess the next thing for us to do is visit the witch then. Piper tilts her head then, her eyes wide, and August sighs deeply. Sorry, Ezra. Well done, you're getting there. Just try it with a little less attitude next time, yeah? I'll wait for you at the entrance to the Casimir end of the catacombs come nightfall. Be careful, Merriman. I know you're capable, but be on your guard. Piper offers them a small smile, and it seems genuine for the first time.
Always am, General.
The shop is quiet, much like August, as they stand stoically by my side. I spare them a glance, watching how they smooth their freshly pressed, clean outfit. Don't be nervous. Ezra doesn't bite. Don't get sassy with me. I laugh at their non-threatening tone, and Ezra appears from the back room. Oh, good morning. August stares, almost as if they're paralyzed, and Ezra suddenly flicks his gaze to me, a singular eyebrow slowly raising in question. General, didn't you want to speak to Ezra? I contemplate my next move and decide to take my life in my hands, nudging August forward with a gentle hand. Rather than tearing my arm clean from my body, they simply throw me a glare and put themselves to rights as they come to stand in front of the young witch. Ezra, it's time I apologize to you. The shock on Ezra's face is evident, but he quickly recovers. Gus, you don't have... Yes, I do. I do. In the interest of not being here explaining all day, I'll keep it short.
I should have never left Argyria the way I did. or at least without giving you an explanation. I owed you that, and I'm sorry I was too caught up in my own issues to bother.
And I certainly shouldn't have treated you in the way that I did towards the end of your time under my tuition, nor the time in which we've coexisted there. You know that what Oberon and Lady Adalia were like. They were always making comments about how you were surpassing me, and how disappointed they were.
That's because you taught me. I'm powerful because of you. I wouldn't be half the witch I am today if it wasn't for you. I continued my studies long after you left, all from your books.
August looks like they don't know quite what to say. Color rises to their cheeks, and they quickly avert their gaze as Ezra continues.
Your skills remain unparalleled, and your parents were fools not to see that. I still look up to you and could still learn from you.
My healing is still something to be desired.
Well, you can't be good at everything.
They share a smile, and August looks like a different person. They stand a little taller, like a huge weight has been lifted. Making amends suits them. I accept your apology.
I should never have blamed you for the insecurities my parents planted in my head. I can't take back what happened, but we can move forward.
We can. We will. What was it like growing up in Agria?
Incredibly boring, but enchanting nonetheless.
Perfectly summed up. There was nothing very special about it, but it was strangely charming.
The only interesting thing to do there was to learn magic. Witches would flock there to learn at the academy August's family ran. Some of the finest witches in all of Escria taught there, including Gus.
Ezra becomes wistful, a fond smile crossing his lips. August, less so. True to their nature, though, they roll their eyes at the compliment, and I have made a eye roll counter for this thing. Ha ha! I will fix the rolling count to about 17. So I think we're close up to 20 right now, but I'll reset that another time. I'm hardly one of the finest. Liar. I was honored to have you as my guide, no matter what you say. My family couldn't afford the tuition, but Gus saw something in me and took me under their wing anyway.
I fondly remember the look on your mother's face when you told her you would tutor me free of charge.
August grimaces, but their smile betrays them.
I do miss making Mother angry.
She was just annoyed that everyone could see that people are able to flourish outside of her precious academy. What made you both move here? Harry had visited my parents' academy in search of new recruits. Strictly witches. I no longer saw a future for myself in Argria. My parents had all but disowned me, and it felt good to be needed. The promise I might do some good if I took up the position in the Enforcers was too perfect to pass up at that point in my life. Ezra clears his throat. Do you regret it, leaving? A pause, but just a quick one, and August answers confidently. No, but I regret how I left. How I let my friend down. Everything happens for a reason, Gus. It's in the past. What about you, Ezra? His smile fades, softens. After my father passed away, I felt a little useless at home. I worked tirelessly to raise money to buy my own shop. I just wanted to help people like he always did, in his own way. Magic was the only way I knew how, and Lunaris happened to be the first place where I might be able to afford a fresh start. So glad things
I'm
worked
so
out.
glad things
that-
worked out the way they did. Though things may not be perfect, I found family here.
The partial voice acting always trips me up. So glad you were able to resolve your issues. It's nice to see you both like this. Thank you. I'm glad too. Now, shall we discuss the plan? I'm perfectly well versed on the wards that they use. So, with both of us, I doubt they stand much of a chance. Ezra scoffs. Trust me, they don't. Alright, so Piper and I will head to the catacombs to meet Finn. And I assume he'll be able to tell us when the wards are down. Ezra doesn't hesitate to respond, his words confident. I can definitely ensure that he knows. Our connection is very strong, specifically mine with his prosthetic. Yes, strong. Gus, please. Shears is right there. Oh, he's blushing! Gus tilts their head, quite obviously confused with Ezra's statement.
Sorry, I don't see what this has to do with me making a comment about your dangerous liaisons with certain creatures of the night.
Ezra clears his throat and offers me a sorry gaze before he addresses August again. It's nothing, don't worry. As much as I appreciate Ezra not outing my newfound liaisons with Finn, I can't help but wonder exactly how he knows already. Regardless, I gather August doesn't approve of such relationships. Maybe it's best to keep that particular sliver of information to myself for now. Anyway, back to the plan. Have you heard from Harry at all since the night of the last murder? He's been around, though he seems to be avoiding me. He's keeping to himself. I cannot label that as suspicious, though. The man did just lose his husband, but I'll keep an eye on his whereabouts. I don't think we won't have to worry about him looking for us, though. He's distracted. So we're good to go, then. They share a nod in unison. I better get going. I need my armor and weapons from the wolf. Ezra hands August a crumpled piece of parchment, and they nod once, getting to work gathering whatever ingredients Ezra has written down.
I know you don't need me to tell you, but be safe. Let us know you're okay as soon as you can.
I will.
Tread carefully. Don't let them catch you, I have faith in you.
Yes, General. Thank you. I head back to the wolf to prepare myself. Now fully kitted in my armor, my weapons, safe in their holster. I begin to slowly make my way towards the main entrance of the catacombs. The air is chilly and the sun is already low in the sky. We must wait until sunset to ensure Finn and the clan can safely assist. But as each minute passes by, my gut feels heavy with anticipation. I hope this works. I hope we don't get caught. More for Piper and August than myself. I have so many people relying on me. I absolutely cannot let them down. flickering golden candlelight is almost comforting as I head deeper into the catacombs. I know I'm safe here now that I'm aware that it's only Finn's clan that lingers. But there's something about it being down here that has my guard up. I smile to myself, thinking that the scariest thing that might actually jump out at me would probably be Raven. I turn the corner and find the place where Piper and I agree to meet. There's no sign of her, but then I am a little early. With a deep sigh, I lean against the wall, listening to the steady drip, drip, drip of water upon the stone. Then Finn appears to me as if out of thin air, and I really want that jacket. Look at that jacket. Look at the embroidery detail. That must be a bitch to embroider, but it looks beautiful.
Good evening.
I can't stop the smile that blossoms when I look into those golden eyes. Finn.
How's my favorite hunter? Did you miss me?
He crowds close, but keeps his hands in his pockets. Maybe just a little. He shrugs, smirking. I'll take it. His gaze flickers to the side, then back to me. It would appear that Merriman is late. I shake my head, taking a step closer to him. I'm early, actually. There's that smirk again, and he removes his hands from his coat, flexing his fingers. Any particular reason? I want to roll my eyes, but I find myself infuriatingly fixated by him. I'm just fond of being on time, that's all. A quiet, contemplative hum, and he seems unconvinced. Okay. Do we go full thirst? Do we go... So this is actually a question for chat. Do we want to go full thirst or practicality? Or are we just going full ludicrous thirst? Oh. Ooh. Oops. Paper towel, paper towel. Okay. So, okay. I try to maintain as much composure as possible. I suppose I might have wanted to see you. Just a little. Suppose, Well, that's good enough for me. I'm glad, though. He reaches up to curl his finger under my chin, making sure I'm looking at him. As if I could be doing anything else with him this close.
You know, I found myself waiting for the sun to set with a little more enthusiasm than usual, thanks to the thought of seeing you.
Finn pauses, and with a sorry groan and a roll of his eyes, he carefully withdraws his touch, and that adds to the count. Oh wait, did it not work? That's weird. There we go. Before I can ask him what's wrong, I hear a wicked cackle echoing in the tunnels. Well, well, well. What do we have here? Piper emerges from the shadows, a self-satisfied grin on her face.
Did anyone tell you not to eat the new hunter, Casimir?
He offers me a sorry gaze, before turning to Piper with a playful grin.
Come on, Piper. You know I'd only eat them if they asked nicely.
Yeah, that's enough. I need a drink. Okay. Now it's her turn to roll her eyes. God damn it. And the noise she makes is one of barely disguised disgust. Save it. I caught you red-handed. Now, we've got an important shit to do, if you're quite finished. Piper looks at me, and I deduce that she's most definitely fucking with us and couldn't actually care less. Let's move on. With one final glance, Finn moves to fall into step behind us. Piper snickers, elbowing me as I walk by her side, Finn trailing quietly behind us.
You sly fox. Vampires get you hot then? Biting was never my thing, unfortunately.
God damn it, Piper. Whatever gets your juices flowing, though. With a waggle of her eyebrows, she lets out another laugh, loud enough that surely that the whole population of the catacombs can hear. I hear Finn groan, and I can't help but smile at her in return. As we head deeper into the tunnels, everything feels different. There's no longer that comforting golden glow, the jagged stonework now illuminated unnervingly still, vibrant blue mage light. Piper's demeanor changes, and I hear Finn pipe up behind us.
We're not in my territory anymore. Stay alert.
Then he suddenly stops in front of us, bringing us to a halt. Wait. Stop here. I can feel the barrier. It's close. So now what? I stare at Finn's prosthetic. The etching's glowing, but still dull. We wait for Ezra's signal. We stand in silence, and Finn begins to shift where he stands. It seems unnatural for him to look so nervous. Casimir, if you don't stand still... He huffs, clearly frustrated. Fiero, you will look for him, won't you? Piper narrows her eyes, but her expression quickly softens when she looks at me. We'll look for him. We will.
Thank you. I know you may not be able to free him if he is there, but just tell him we'll get him out, whatever it takes.
Then Finn's arm begins to thrum, the markings coming to life and illuminating the tunnel. He looks down at his glowing palm, flexing his fingers, and he smiles. Let me do a quick save. Yes. And return. It's go time.
Let's do this.
Adrenaline courses through my veins at the thought of what may lie ahead, and I take a step forward to head into the shadows. Before I get too far, I feel a cold hand gently gripping my wrist. Finn looks to Piper, his gaze pleading. Piper rolls her eyes, and that's added to the count.
Yes, fine. Quickly, though. We don't have time for anything overly dramatic, you big dead idiot.
Language. She disappears, but I know she's not gone too far. Charming, isn't she? Terribly. He brings my hand to his lips, pressing a gentle kiss to my knuckles.
I know you can handle yourself, but come back to me quickly, okay?
I smile, trying not to get lost in him, to remember the mission. I will. I swear it. He releases my hand, our fingertips brushing as I step away. I'll signal from the forest to exit if you need to leave. Stay alert. See you on the other side. I glance over my shoulder as I join Piper, but Finn is already gone. Surprisingly, or maybe not, the entrance to the dungeons remains unguarded, and that unnerving yet familiar blue mage light guides our way. Piper eagerly rushes towards the first empty cell. Wow, words. Eyeing the small, frail, fey-like creature that's huddled in the corner. She picks up a clipboard that rests in a wooden holder beside the door. I remember you. Not one of my catches, but a good one. The Fae lifts her head, smiling and exposing a row of shining, razor-sharp teeth. She snickers, the sound more like a hiss than a laugh. We move to the next, doing the same, checking the paperwork. A demon this time, its power subdued by enchanted cuffs that anchor it to the wall. Piper scoffs, clearly unamused as we make our way down the row, finding no hunters. No Aya. Bullshit. She has to be down here somewhere. Eventually, after what feels like forever, we find a cell that piques Piper's interest. In the shrouded darkness, I see a crimson eye staring back at us, and the figure cautiously approaches. He looks gaunt for a vampire, his clothes hanging off his slender frame, his cheeks drawn and cut far sharper than what the beauty of his immortality may have already afforded him. Piper surges forward, curling her fingers around the thick iron bars. Fiero, what have they done to you? Fiero. Piper. What are you doing here? His voice is deep. I try and fail to get a read on his aura. Oh, you know, just taking a stroll. What do you bloody think? His bright gaze flicks to me and he shakes his head, his blank expression unchanging. You'll get no reading from me, Hunter. Then I remember, he's an empath, skilled in both masking his own emotions and reading others. I wonder how powerful he is. Finn and the clan have been looking for you. He blinks, his movement somewhat groggy. I don't doubt that. Please, tell them not to try to break me out. I've no doubt that Finnegan will be dramatic when you tell him of my whereabouts. Of course he will. Piper grabs his notes, tutting loudly as she scans the page.
Oh, Fiero. Unsanctioned feeding on an enforcer. Resisting arrest. You naughty boy.
You know that's not true. They appear to set me up quite beautifully. Why you? What happened? His stillness is unnerving, and after being around vampires like Finn, vampires who do an excellent job at fooling you into thinking they're at least a little bit human. I sensed someone in a great deal of distress in the forest. I didn't want to rally the whole clan for something that was likely insignificant. So I managed to convince Finnegan to allow me to investigate alone. I discovered a wounded enforcer near the outskirts of town. They'd been bitten, probably wandering youngling by the look of the mess they had made of them. I tried to help, to assist them in getting back to town, but I quickly realized the enforcers had me surrounded. They apprehended me, and I've been here ever since. Piper groans, roughly shoving the clipboard back in its holder. What the fuck are they doing? Harry struck a deal with your clan long ago, and you don't cause any trouble. If anything, you do a better job at keeping the town safe than most of the other hunters. Piero blinks at her, his mouth twitching ever so slightly. No deed ever goes unpunished, Piper. I hate to think it, but I have to ask. Have they hurt you at all? They have not beaten me, nor they tried to, and I'm not interested in being a troublesome prisoner. I feel a butt coming. But they have been taking my blood. You fucking what? That seemed pretty important. Leading with that would have been handy. His lips twitch as if he might consider smiling. He rolls up his sleeve and his forearm is covered in angry bruises. I've never seen a vampire mark this easily. Unless they've been starving you. He covers his arm, nodding. Yes. Piper's gaze is fixed firmly upon the ground. Her brows furrowed. She's restless and agitated. I am too. What could they possibly want your blood for? I wish I knew. None of this makes sense. Uh-oh. There we go. Have you seen any other humans being brought down here? Specifically hunters. They keep the others far away from me, as you can see. He's right. And there are at least 5 or 6 empty cells between him and the next occupied one. Though, I might have said something. I assumed at first it was my hunger dulling my senses, but... His brow furrows. I'm confused what species they are. Their scent is unnatural. Unusual how? It wasn't human. But it also wasn't something I was familiar with. No creature that I've ever come across anyway. And I've lived long enough to know when something isn't right. When something is new. I look at Piper, and she's doing everything she can to avoid eye contact. She's thinking about Aya. I can feel the worry rolling off her in waves. Piper.
I need to know if my friend is alive.
Fiero offers her a sorry look. The most animated he's been thus far. I suspect that he can feel her pain and her anger. I wish I could offer some clarity, but I cannot. All I know is that your enforcers aren't the honorable agency they claim to be. Something dangerous is afoot. She visibly deflates, her shoulders sagging and her balled fists relaxing. What are they doing? I've dedicated my life to these people. So have you. I nod. A lump in my throat. I feel sick. Everything inside me screaming, telling me that this is all wrong. If Aya had been here, there'll be a trace. There has to be. You're right. We should keep looking. I clutch the bars, getting closer to Fierro. I can't set him free right now. Not when we don't know how much time we have. But I won't leave him to wither and die. We'll get you out of here. Soon. Somehow I don't doubt that, Hunter. Piper tugs at my sleeve. We may not have much time. Fierro quickly sinks back into the darkness of his cell, and I watch him settle upon the ground. It pains me to leave him, but I know he'll be okay. He survived Levi. He can survive this. We find the warden's desk and rifle through the drawers with haste, and Piper gasps as she sets her sight on a bundle of prisoner manifestos, the type that should be outside the cells. These are incomplete. Why would they be tucked away in here? She reads them quickly, her eyes frantic as she scans the messy writing. I see her resisting the urge to crumple the parchment. She hands it to me and turns away, her hands in her hair. All the other occupied cells have their paperwork neatly displayed outside, listed as their species, arrest date, offense, an abundance of issues and of useless little details to keep the enforcers busy. But these two apparently hidden sheets that Piper has given me are different. General Aya Walker and General Azazel Ripley. Who is this Azazel? Piper turns to face me. The hunter that Alcar fought with. Oh. Shit. And he's in a cell. They arrest him for getting attacked? I hate to say it for what feels like the trillionth time, but what the fuck? They checked Aya out of her cell last night. Him too. Fuck. But look. She points at the time scribbled next to their names. And there's only a checkout. They haven't come back? It's been over 24 hours. They haven't come back. Then a loud banging echoes from the hallway, and Piper quickly snatches the manifests from my hands, shoving them into her shirt. Let's go. We move as fast as we can while staying cautious. Finn has signaled us for a reason, be it Enforcer Guard approaching or the wards being recast. Either way, we need to get out of here. We hear muffled voices drawing nearer and quickly flatten ourselves against the wall. But we're not hidden. The forest exit is in sight. Our escape. Piper turns to look at me.
It's your call, General.
Oh. I know my spy movies. You wait for a half a second before the coast is clear. Piper waits impatiently while I decide, trying my hardest not to waste time. If we run, we might alert to their presence. If we don't... I close my eyes, shutting everything else around me. I can hear them. Two people, seemingly not aware of our presence. Yet. Casual conversation, footsteps drawing nearer, but from the dungeon entrance. Far away from us. I open my eyes and hold up my hand, signaling Piper to wait. We can make it. I know we can. I shake my head, listening, waiting. Their voices grow quieter, footsteps upon a staircase, and then they're gone. Go. Now. We step forward, pushing open the heavy door with ease. Cool, crisp air hits my face, and I spot a tall figure waiting for us.
You made it.
He ushers us away from the door, pushing it closed as quietly as he can. Follow me. He leads us a short distance away and into a small clearing where we can still see the surprisingly well-hidden dungeon exit. What did you find? Enough to tell us who exactly we cannot trust. Finn's mouth is set in a thin line and he nods, taking the hint not to pry further just yet. There are guards approaching. Routine perimeter search. You should head out.
We should split up, just to be safe. I'll head home and get these hidden.
She pats her pocket where the manifests are safely tucked away. Just what I've always wanted. Being left alone in these fucking woods again. The clan is scattered around the forest. If you see the creature, don't engage. Not after what happened to Shears. Piper nods, her face grim. Later. I turn to Finn quickly, needing to tell him about his friend. Fiyero is in there. He's alive. Well, you know, ish. He's alive. I smile at his obvious glee. We found Fiyero. We found evidence. We got in and out without being detected. Tonight was not wasted, and neither was it a complete disaster. Finn's smile is bright, and I sense mischief is afoot, if the way he's looking at me is any indicator.
I could kiss you.
He pulls me into a tight embrace, lifting me with startling ease. I slide down his broad form as he carefully releases me, my feet finding solid ground. I let my palms rest against his chest, getting lost in the way his eyes shine. He's happy, and in turn, so am I. Good. He opens his mouth to speak, but his expression quickly shifts. You need to go. Now. They're close. I'll distract them if need be. You being caught out here after papers going missing in there is not something we want them to put together. Head south. A friend is waiting for you. Didn't think we'd leave you out here all alone again, did you? Friend. Just go. The tone of his voice tells me I don't have time to question him. He's right, too. I shouldn't be seen here, no matter how innocent it might look on the surface. I head south as instructed, hearing a rustling in the tree line. Hey. I stop dead in my tracks at the sight of him, puffing. Hey yourself. So you're the friend then? I'm the friend, whatever that means. Come on, follow me. Keep up. Alcar keeps glancing over his shoulder at me as we move deeper into the forest, following a trail in the dirt so faint I can barely detect it. I almost want to tell him he needn't be worried about me disappearing in a puff of smoke, but the weighty, grim silence and what I have just learned kills the comment in my head, in my chest. It takes some time for me to realize, but the boulder in the woods Alcar eventually stops at has an outline of an opening to it. Okay, so let me just do actually a quick time check. So we're at the top of the hour, so I'm going to take a quick save. And I'm going to take a quick break, and I will be right back. Alright, so welcome back everyone. Hope everyone's enjoying the story so far. So let me try and get myself a bit more comfy. It takes some time for me to realize, but the boulder in the woods Alcar eventually stops at has the outline of an opening to it. With a smirk thrown over his shoulder at me, he bends and presses his palm into the dirt. So this is where you've been hiding all this time. This is pretty new. But Omen started hanging around more. Sometimes he wanted to stay with me. Wanted to give Ezra space, you know, so... I watched his shoulders rise and fall in a sharp, short shrug. Can't leave him out in the cold, even if he doesn't feel it. Speaking of, he's down here with me. With a final grunt, Alcar slides back what seems a patch of grass and dirt. The entrance is disguised pretty impressively convincing. He reveals a narrow stone staircase leading down from under the earth. I come to stand next to him, peering into the abyss. Now that it is dark down here, I see the dim glow of a fire, and I can tell it's warmer down there than up here.
Ezra's a miracle worker, huh? And Finn. You won't believe what a clan of vampires and a witch with a desire to nurture you at any given opportunity can do once they put their minds to it.
With a smirk, he beckons me to go on ahead. I oblige and hear him slide the hatch door close above our heads. Wow, words are not happening today. It's not a very long descent. Some 10, 12 steps at most. I find myself standing in a circular, brightly but gently lit space. Its stone walls partially hidden by curtains strewn about the place, softening the impression that it's, well, a cave. The string of lights are clearly Ezra's idea. There are cushions and chairs on all sides of the room, though. And I have to wonder if Alcar broke into Piper's house to take some decor notes from her. You okay, Alex? You right, Papa? Hi. Hi, Sleepy. Are you okay? Here. Good girl. It's okay. Sorry, Mama. Good girl. What a good girl. Poor baby. Did you just want scritches? What a good girl. Lie down. Go lie down. Good girl. What a good girl. Good listening. I resolve to ask him later, as a familiar figure curled up and fuming on one of the couches draws my attention immediately. Shears! Omen hops to his feet, dusting his hands off his trousers. His movement sends a flutter of empty candy wrappers to the floor, causing him to flush bright red, turn, and try to pick them up. Alcar snorts as he comes to sit down next to Omen. Well, next to where Omen just vacated. He waves a careless hand. Worry about them later. Or maybe you can just do that burn thing trick, right? Oh. Omen gives me a nervous look. Then his face relaxes and he smiles. The wrappers catch fire with barely a flicker of his power and burn to nothing. It's the first display of power Omen has shown me, and he sits back down and picks a cushion to hug. I think he's more relaxed than he's ever been. Alcar gives him a pat on the back and grins, gesturing towards me. See, it's all right. Yes, of course. Omen turns, regarding me for a moment. Then he smiles, shy but soft and relieved. I find myself feeling the same, whether or not I can move my facial muscles to mirror his. Glad to see you here. I was getting worried. I can see the surprise on his face before he laughs it away, covering his mouth with the back of his hand.
I appreciate your concern, but given everything, maybe I should be the one worrying. I was, actually, but...
Omen glances to the side, sheepish. Behind him, Alcar is mouthing something. Spat with his sister. Oh, I nod along. Not sure exactly what to say. Omen hasn't been one to volunteer much information on himself and his sister beyond the big reveal, and at this point I'm not sure if it would be more or less awkward to ask. After all, I'm fairly sure that they're not in any sense responsible for the things going to shit around here. Not with what do I know. Fairly sure.
Figured he should be staying out of sight when he can burst into flames at any moment.
Omen whips his face around to him, and I can hear the fluster in his voice. I was not. Alcar shrugs lazily, shooting me a shit-eating grin as though trying to rope me into the teasing. If it counts as teasing, I see the tail of Omen's hair already gaining a cherry red, wisp-like quality. Don't worry, you look cute when you're on fire. Omen groans, burying his face in his hands. I stifle a laugh despite myself and come to sit down next to Alcar on the couch. Omen gives me a sharp look, like I've done some small betrayal, but joins Alcar on the other side. He picks up a cushion and holds it to his chest. We sit in silence for a long minute, and it's the most peace I've had in a very long time, especially since coming to Linares. These two don't know much of anything, I realize. Well, perhaps not much more than me, even though Alcar has clearly been snooping around, and Omen possibly, definitely, carries his own bag of sweets. But at the moment, in relation to all of this, perhaps we're the same. There's some comfort to that. To not be the only one left in the dark. Pass me the jar. I can see Omen startle out of the corner of my eye. When I glance his way, it's to catch the flash of guilt on his face. Then he bends over to retrieve something. He surfaces back up with a mostly empty glass jar of wrapped candies.
Omen! Ezra's gonna fucking kill me, buddy!
I'm sorry. You said help yourself.
Alcar reaches for the jar, but Omen holds it away from him. Show me your tongue, Omen. Omen's eyes widen as Alcar leans back away from us with a not too subtle snicker. I glare at him, which he shrugs off with a roll of his eyes, and that goes for the next count. And we each look at Omen expectantly. The son of Satan takes a sharp breath, then sticks his tongue out at me. Just enough to mock. I think you should take your allergy seriously.
Well, I think demons ought to be allowed to take their indulgences seriously.
Alcar laughs then, open and full of mirth, and not like any other sound I've quite heard from him before. He ruffles Omen's hair, then gives his long ear a slight tweak. That's how you show him attitude, yeah. See? You're learning. From the best I gather. Omen blinks and laughs too, an awkward chuckle that he still tries to stifle behind a hand. Alcar's wolf ears relax, and I see his face soften into something very bright and very fond. You two are outrageously cute. It's almost comical how quickly they separate. Omen almost hops off the edge of the couch with the speed of his retreat. His face and hair turn bright red. While he sputters something incoherent, Alcar leans away from me like I've just insulted his entire family. Interesting. Never say that again. Oh, I can't help but grin at how emphatically he says that. I cannot do words. I apologize. Can't handle a bit of truth, can you? No.
No. We're friends. Friendship.
Two bros chilling in a cave now, 5 feet apart because they're totally not dating. That sounded so much better in my head. He nods vigorously, mostly to himself, I think, and clutches the cushion closer to his chest, his eyes looking elsewhere but at me. Alcar's head whips around at the speed of light, his wolf ears flattening into his soft hair. Whatever expression is on his face that I can't see makes Omen pause. He stares back, jaw slack. I'm going to attempt this. Bear in mind, if I don't hear it, it makes the reading a lot harder. And this is why I have like so many mispronunciations of certain things. I read it first and I had no goddamn clue. Leon. Shazena. Then he covers his face with a pillow to muffle the rest of whatever that was. Alcar turns back to him, his expression grim. Now look what you've done. He's fucking steaming. Omen smacks Alcar's knee, hard. At which point I decide, and the two of them ought to be grateful for my graciousness, that perhaps it's safe and time to leave. Chuckling, I rise from the couch and take a step away, pulling some good, much-needed distance between the pair and the mess they're quickly falling apart in. They're the rom-com. Alright. You two win. Alcar gives me a narrow-eyed look. Interesting enough, I can see his fluffy tail curl around Omen, almost protectively, and Omen's own tail wraps around the fur, twisting in. Coincidence? I don't think so. But saying so much might get a half lichen at my throat. At least I gather as such from the way Alcar's shoulders are tense, so I keep my mouth shut. Likely he would do me no harm, but even so... Besides, Staying right here affords me the best view of this mess. I cross my arms, fighting the amusement down. Of all the revelations in this town, this is the most welcoming one yet. I better head out then. Shame, but stay up.
Shame, but stay safe and all that. Not that you need that Chad, big and strong as you are.
Good night. Alcar glowers at me, but I distinctly hear no further protest from him. I head straight for the shop when I leave the forest without incident, remembering my promise to Ezra and August, that I'd let them know I was safe. I push the door open and spot Ezra and Finn in a somewhat heated debate. They both straighten up when they see me. Finn apparently too distracted by my anticipate my arrival. His eyes are wide for a moment before he settles back into that implacable stillness.
Oh, you're back. We were getting worried.
He steps toward me, leaving Finn where he's apparently stuck in place. Finn said you found Fiero? So relieved. Yeah. Fiero's alive. We should get him out of there as soon as we can. They aren't exactly treating him with kindness. I look at Finn, anticipating an outburst. It'd be justified. They've been taking his blood and starving him. What for? How could they possibly need his blood? I see a hint of black flicker into the whites of his eyes. For the first time, his poised facade has wavered around me. A glimpse of the creature that lingers within him. I go to him, laying my hand upon his. It works, calming whatever threatens the surface. Sorry. Ezra looks away, giving us a moment of privacy. He turns his hand in mine, our fingers brushing before he withdraws his touch. It's okay. We'll get him back. Ezra returns his attention to us, a concerned friend. All Finn can do is avert his gaze, almost defiantly. It doesn't go unnoticed by me. There's a clear and unusual tension between them tonight. Something I can't quite place. I seem to be collecting secrets quite efficiently lately, so it can't hurt to try and pry another, and maybe diffuse whatever this is. Are you two okay? Finn looks almost straight through me. Ezra's eyes widen, but he recovers quickly. His smile strangely earnest. What do you mean? I don't mean to interfere, but you two seem tense. Is something wrong?
We just had a little disagreement. It happens, especially with all of this going on.
Ezra's gaze snaps to Finn, eye contact fixing and holding before Finn exhales sharply, apparently willing to be a little more open than the witch.
With everything that has happened, I made the decision that I would be more mindful and keep my distance from Ezra. Him being seen with me made the enforcers make his life a living hell, which he will vigorously deny.
Ezra opens his mouth to protest, but Finn pointedly continues. He softens then, a fond look in his eyes as his gaze flickers between us. You cannot live your life with them breathing down your neck. I know what they do to people who they feel threatened by, or what they'd like to use as a scapegoat. Look at Fiero. You hold Lidge, from working with them. They're afraid of you.
I refuse to stand by and let those I care about get hurt. I've had enough, and if staying away helps them get off your back, helps protect you,
I see a flaw in his logic, however thoughtful his explanation might seem. Don't you think we're stronger together? That we're all stronger together? I know he means well. But from being in Lunaris and being around this weird and wonderful little family that I've joined, I've come to see that strength is really better in numbers. Using logic, I roll my eyes, hoping he sees my point. Oh, what's the matter, baby? What time is it? Alright, so I'm actually going to take another quick break. Somebody needs to go outside. Yep. Alright, so let me just save real quick. And I will be right back.
Well, I'm used to having so much company, being surrounded by those that I love. So going from that to whatever this is has been hard.
I can't bear the thought of you paying dire consequences for being seen with me. But the thought of stepping back and letting it happen sickens me more. My fondness for you grows immeasurably.